speaking of the Niners and Eagles, we do have to talk about the NFC Championship rematch we get to witness on Sunday. We've done it every day here on the show. I'm not bored of it. I usually get bored of these tedious matchups, hyping them up as it gets a little. This is big. This is the NFC's top two teams in records and in grade A, top of the conference beef, mind you. Eagles, best the Niners. They move on to the Super Bowl last year. That week, leading up to the Eagles' loss to the Chiefs, I had Mr. Christian McCaffrey, who should be the MVP this season. He was on set with me following the loss to the Eagles, ahead of the Eagles' loss to the Chiefs, and he talked about what went on and his feelings on that game. If I know anything about you, is that you're still a week and a half ago in the NFC Championship game that didn't really pan out the way any of us thought that it would. Adversity, injuries. How is that sitting with you now removed over a week?
It's tough. It's really tough. You know, it's, you don't want to make excuses, obviously, but it just sucks because we wish we had, a healthy quarterback for a full game and just kind of see how the game would have panned out. It's a really good team that we played, but it feels like something got stolen from you, and just wish it would have played out differently. Wish we could have ran that one back.
I remember after this interview, it went super viral, and everyone was saying, nothing got stolen from you, and Eagles fans are really, and this beef was really going, and I was super surprised because from a Niners perspective, you kind of can't blame them for feeling this way. When he gave me that answer, I thought it was a bland answer. I thought it was like, yeah, obviously, you thought something stolen from you. Like, I don't have a rooting interest, and I didn't back then, one way or the other, but I do remember feeling disappointed that we didn't get to see heavyweights square off at full strength, but it doesn't diminish what the Eagles did. I'm not saying that. Don't come for me, Eagles fans. And there's obviously like a great chance they would have won it anyway. As a fan, there could have been a more satisfying matchup, and I talked about that the very next morning. This goes viral, the beef translates, Debo's hanging up on people, then he's got, the Bradbury, this, that, and that's what makes games so exciting in rematches. 10 months, guys, we've been waiting for this. We're finally going to get some of our questions from that NFC title game to answer. Questions that the Niners, they've put that on their shoulders. Like, we would have won if we had everybody out there. That's saying a lot, knowing they're going to have to probably contend and maybe have their pass to the Super Bowl go down the same sort of journey this year. They say that knowing what that must do to Brock Purdy. When you're like a Debo or an Ayuk, when you're Christian McCaffrey saying, if we were healthy, we'd probably take you. It wasn't a fair situation. Well, that's putting a lot of pressure on a guy who's already getting beat up by Colin Cowherd for wearing his hat backwards. You aged Colin Cowherd 90 years in that clip. And that happened, and I sort of brought it up to Debo this week. He shut me down on it. Debo said his poise, his confidence, I don't give an F. I'm all out of Fs. I don't have any to give you. When it comes to pressure, yeah, look, he's all out, and he said it himself yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I hear stuff around the facility just in terms of Debo said this or whoever said this, and I get a laugh out of it and stuff. It's funny. But for myself, it's like I said, it's another game for me. I have to be prepared to play football, make the right decisions consistently, handle the operation of the offense. So that's where my mind has to be, not all the other stuff. So I obviously don't get caught up in it. But I think, for Debo or, guys that have played the game for a while to have fun with it, they can do them, and I laugh about it when I hear it. So, but I have a job that I have to do, and that's just how I handle it.
He kept being asked about, people say that you're the weak link. I think he was literally asked that you're you are the weakest link. Goodbye. He's not even old enough to remember that show. And they were asking him, truly, I think it was weakest link was the phrase that was used. I thought that was the clip that we were going to show. And he was like, I haven't heard that. I don't care. I'm just here to try to help this team win. So they believe in him. Everybody believes in him at least in that locker room. There's, of course, all this Niners media. Nobody wants to believe in him. So my question is not even who's going to win this game. It's always what is it going to change? What is it going to mean? My big question personally, if the Niners get the W here and Brock has another quality win, he has about 300 yards, does it actually change anything about how he's seen, how he's questioned, how he's valued? I'm going to say, and not to be negative, I don't think so. Not yet, and not even winning a Super Bowl. I think I'm still going to hear system, Shanahan, defense, surrounding pieces, loaded, flags on the other side. Brady won 3 Super Bowls. I lived in New England, and all I would hear all the time is low draft pick, system, doesn't throw down the field. He could tie his shoelaces behind that Velveeta cheese block of an offensive line. He's got it better than everybody. He's got Bill Belichick. I heard that when he was 3 Super Bowls deep. I was hearing that about him. Montana faced the same kind of BS. I don't know if it's the low draft pick, might be the hat backwards, I don't know. He's going to have to work super hard to change the narrative. Even if he wins the Super Bowl, he might get that like Flacco, Jim McMahon-y defense really won it. It might be that. But the only thing, and the thing that I think is the coolest about this is he does not care. I believe that. I believe Brock does not care. Nobody in that locker room cares. And I sort of, hey, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe right here. Do it now for the latest from Up and Adams.